Welcome to What's Cooking New Ulm. I'm Rebecca Fliszar, dietitian with the Heart's Beat Back Heart of New Ulm project, working to reduce and eventually eliminate heart attacks in the 56073 zip code. One of my greatest questions often asked is, I know that I'm supposed to be eating more fish, but I just don't like the taste of fish. What am I going to do with it? How can I prepare it? What's going to make it edible? So tonight I have a really good recipe. It's not covered in vegetables, though that's our second recipe. But it's a basic salmon recipe, something easy to make. You can make it in the oven, you can make it in the pan, you can make it on the grill. Your grill is going to be your best option, but you can make it in the other ways. Now I'll show you what I have. This is my salmon fillet. It's about 1 pound. I had the butcher cut it in a 1 pound fillet. And what I did is I made a marinade, a very simple marinade. We're going to go through that, and I've let this sit for about 4 hours in the refrigerator. Okay, and then I'm going to just take the rest of that marinade and put it right over my fish. That's all you really have to do. So what is it that was made up in this marinade? All right, we're going to get that spread all over. A very basic recipe. I used between 2 tablespoons and 1/4 cup of olive oil. All right. I used about a teaspoon of lime juice. Then I use some honey. Honey is a sugar-containing food, but it's a little bit more wholesome. It's something that you can have. It's not going to be quite as concentrated as a regular sugar, so we add that in just to add that extra flavor. So honey obviously doesn't like to move too fast. Now, this is an organic honey, so it's a little bit more expensive. You don't need to use the organic. You can get the regular. Honey is usually shelf stable and can be kept for quite some time. So although we are paying a premium on honey lately, it's still well worth it. Good value, and can be kept for a long time. We're going to get that honey coming. All right, so once we have those in there, we just mix that up. And that's it. That's what made this marinade. Now it's going to be called Caribbean salmon. It's going to have a very, fruity, kind of sweet flavor to it. It's going to help mask a little bit that fishy taste to it. Now the kick to this one is, we can set that aside, is we're going to be adding some cilantro. Cilantro is traditionally found in many of our Mexican dishes. It's often in our salsa. It's very distinct, as with all of our foods. If you're not sure, start slowly. And if you like it, you can always add more. It's nice leafy green, does contain calcium, has very great strong flavor. We're going to put that right over the top. I'm going to take this, I'm going to fold it up. Now remember, our salmon is high in omega-3 fatty acids. If you look at this piece that we have here, you can see nice orange color. Now if you can get the sockeye salmon when that runs, it's not in our butcher's case very often, but when it's available, that's going to be the darkest red, and that's what you're looking for. The darker the color, the better. It's one of those salmon, tuna, mackerel. Those are going to be those fish that contain the omega-3 fatty acids, and those are the things we're looking for to help bring up our good cholesterol and down our bad. Remember, if you have a fish like tilapia or cod, they're very low fat. It's a good food choice, but does not contain those omega-3 fatty acids, so those are not going to meet the criteria when following the Mediterranean diet. I've got this folded up. All we're going to do, pop it in the oven. We're going to make our next recipe, and this will be ready to eat. All right, so I'm going to get that in the oven, and I'll be right back. Welcome back to What's Cooking. All right, so now we have our salmon in the oven. It's baking. We can smell that great flavor coming off. Once again, I always like to reuse our ingredients. We don't want to buy these things, have them sit in the cupboard and think, boy, that was a waste of money. I like that recipe, but I can't eat it every night. Now what am I going to do with all these foods? So we're going to put together a salad, of course, because we can't go without those greens. We want to make sure we're getting how many? 7 to 9 fruits and vegetables per day on the Mediterranean diet. So what we're going to do is we're going to put together a nice, easy salad. I always like to get the spring mixes. In here we have things like arugula, we have dandelion, we have lots of different things, spinach, radicchio, This is where you get your flavor. If you're having your spinach salad or even lettuce salad every day, you get what's called salad fatigue. You just can't do it another day. You can't come up with another salad combination that you're going to enjoy. And that's part of why people fall off the heart healthy eating pattern. So try something new, even if it's just adding some arugula or some dandelion in there. You know, kale, Swiss chards. You don't have to make it your whole salad, but a little bit to change your flavor is going to make a big difference. Keep changing it up. We don't have chicken every day. We don't have beef every day. We change things up. Got to do the same with our salads, or we're going to get tired of what it is that we're eating. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to take that same combination that we had for our marinade for our fish. So we had some olive oil, lime juice, honey, and cilantro. I want to mix those together, and I'm going to put them on my salad. So I'm double dipping on these ingredients. Now, with that, I'm going to throw in a little bit of some canned baby shrimp. And if I want to, I'm going to cut up some peppers, red and green, just to add a little bit more crunch to this as well. So let's go ahead. We're going to start with making our marinade. The exact same thing that we used for the fish, we're going to use as our salad dressing. So we start with the olive oil, a little bit of lime juice in there. We're going to go with the organic honey. Gets a little stuck in here, gives me a little trouble. Let's get that to come on out. As I mentioned, doesn't have to be organic, but that's the way we roll. Let's get as much of that out as we can. It's going to be the base of our flavor. Now you think, well, should I be having this sugar? This is a pretty big salad. It's going to make a lot of portions. That's a pretty small amount of sugar that we're going to be dispersing throughout this entire bowl. You're going to be all right. A little bit of sugar isn't going to make that much of a difference if we watch our portion size. If it helps us to enjoy our food that much more and we're willing to stick with that heart-healthy diet, you know, we can definitely make that fit into what we're having. Okay, we just want to mix this up. So when we have this fully mixed up, we're just going to simply pour it over the top. Now we want to make sure we get the rest of our recipe put together first. Whip that together. Might work a little better if you have a whisk. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add in my shrimp. Again, just because I like everything to have a little bit of protein in it. That's why we're using that. Now that looks like a pretty good amount, but because we have a fairly large salad going here, we want to make sure we get flavor dispersed throughout. We just don't want to be having greens. You're going to get tired of that. You're going to hear people complain. It's not good and I'm not eating healthy. So we're going to add that second can. Add a little bit of flavor in there. Keep it interesting. Keep people engaged. Keep eating healthy. Heart of New Ulm is in its 5th year. We're still working at it. We still have some New Ulmites that aren't quite ready to try, or those that have tried and have already started to go back to old ways. We need to stick with it. We're all in this together, and we're working to improve not just your health, but the health of your neighbors and your family. So give it a try. You're going to family dinner, bring one of the healthy dishes, see if you can't be the change maker. All right, so then I want to cut up a little bit of the cilantro. It's going to be pretty distinctive again. It's going to add a little zip in there. You could add some fresh tomatoes on this. Anytime you're having that cilantro, that's kind of a good mix. We're going to add that in there. Onions. You could even put some squash on the top here. Of course, my favorite, you could always throw in fennel. All right, we're going to mix that up. Now remember, if you're looking for good recipes and you didn't write everything down tonight, go ahead and check us out on heartsbeatback.org. Go into our FoodWorks tab, and under there you'll find our recipes. If you'd like to watch the cooking shows from the past that you maybe haven't seen or you don't remember, or there was a great recipe that you'd like to see made again, those are also available on our website. We keep everything up to date, what's going on with the project and what to expect in the future on that website as well. If you don't have access to the internet, be sure to give us a call at 217-5945. All right, so we're going to put that dressing right over the top, and we're going to just mix it all together. You know, it smells great, it looks great, I bet it tastes great too. All right, so with this completed, let's go ahead and we're going to pull out that salmon. Salmon really doesn't take that long. Don't want to overcook fish or it's not going to taste too good. So great, isn't that pretty? I think this is going to taste wonderful. Let's set that aside. Let's pull it out of the oven. Ugh. And see what we got. Very simple recipe, but it smells good, and I think it's going to taste great. Yep, we're seeing that bubble, that nice color to it. Perfect. Perfect timing. Got our full meal already put together. What you want to see is this is going to flake right off there. That's what we like to see. Already all done, ready to go. Clean up is a breeze. I'm going to take this off of the tin foil, ball it up, and throw it away. That's it. Now this is a restaurant quality meal that you've put together in 10 to 15 minutes. No excuses for not eating heart healthy. Give it a try. You know, if you have to have one meal that doesn't taste great, but you get 5 that do, it was worth your time and your investment. Look for your family to be heart healthy, and you can be your family leader. And that's it. That's this week's episode of What's Cooking, New All. I'm Rebecca Fliszar. I'll see you next week.